Hey everyone, welcome to the Withering Effect, episode 120. Today's date is November 7th, 2021, and I am Duds, or Duds Versus, known to the rest of the interwebs.
And I'm Jimbo. You may know me as Jimbo Slice 23. Today we have a guest, Short Zelda 22. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
It's good to have you.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to start off by telling us what you do and a little bit about yourself.
Sure. I figured I would start with a little bit of a breakdown of my name because I do get asked about it quite a bit. I'm short in real life. Zelda Ocarina of Time was my first ever favorite game.
Heck yeah.
The first one I ever played that I really got into the story of. And 22 is my lucky number because what could be better than two twos?
A 2-3. 23
No.
was my number.
No.
It's funny.
You guys are... So, the number 21 is actually huge in my family.
Really?
Basically, half of us are born on the 21st day of every month.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So, I'm December 21st, my sister's May 21st, our cousin's September 21st. So, 21 is a big number in our family.
23 is bigger than 21 and 22, by the way.
Yeah, but it's not blackjack.
Figure isn't always... Yeah, I was going to say. Other than just breaking down my name, I primarily stream Minecraft. So I would say for about the last 2 years, I've just pretty much been a Minecraft player streamer.
Mm-hmm.
And I was kind of brought in by a streaming overlap, a streaming funny. Duds actually raided into my stream, and I misread his username.
Yep.
I'm gonna go out on full record here. I read it as doo-doo, because streamer brain is a very real thing.
Oh, yeah.
You can't always read, and especially when chat comes in and there's like a lot of new names and you're trying to catch them fast, I read it as doo-doo.
Yeah.
Great.
That's why I don't raid people.
So he actually had raided in while I was playing on my SMP that me and my husband are owners admins on, called Hourglass SMP.
Mm-hmm.
And it is very much a kind of a test server for us. Like, we had been playing on an SMP for about a year before we launched our own. Mm-hmm. And we came to the idea that we really enjoyed the community areas the most on that SMP. Like, building a base, building our own farms is always fun. But we kind of thrived in our previous world when we had big community projects. So what we did was we created this server as a limited timed community build world. And what that means is we set a time limit of only 6 months, and we launched on July 1st, and the server's going to go down on December 31st, so that's like been pretty much consuming all of my creative time for the last several months, because we're so focused on every month going to a new area and building a new themed area.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, we chose a overarching theme for the server of Magic the Gathering so that we could mash two of our interests together. So we take ideas and themes from Magic the Gathering and build them in Minecraft.
Ah.
So we're centering it around the 5 mana cycles. I don't know, do you guys play Magic the Gathering? Are you familiar with it at all?
Not at all.
I looked at it a little bit. When I was checking out the server and you mentioned the mana cycles, I was like, wonder what this is. And I wasn't able to get the grasp of what it was. I saw like 5 different cards with different environments.
Yep. So what it is mana is the power source for all the spells. It's the energy, if you think about it that way, that you pull from the land in order to cast your creatures and your spells, and to help protect all of your stuff. And so each of the 5 different manas is both a color, and it represents a plane, or like a land formation, basically. Okay. So there is white, which is the plains, which is like big fields, lots of open space. And then there's blue, which is islands. Obviously that one's a little bit easier to explain. Mm-hmm. And then the next one is black, swamps. And then red mountains, and then green and forests. So each one of them has a color and like a personality of their own. And so what we're doing with each one of those areas is we're building our on a mushroom island, first of all, because it was before the wonderful lighting update that we're getting next update. Mm-hmm. So we wanted to be able to concentrate on the building side of everything and not so much on the mob proofing. And so we found a seed with 5 mushroom islands within 3,000 blocks of spawn, and each month we're moving to a different area, and we're picking a build style and like a color palette of blocks, and we're all building in the same area to get kind of these huge build projects done that one single player wouldn't be able to do.
Yeah, it's pretty unique.
Yeah, for anyone, you need to go see it because these aren't like small little village builds. These are massive builds. And the fact that you're getting them done in a month is crazy.
Mm-hmm. The first one, to go with the fact that they're big builds, is month 1 that we built on for the White Island. There was a cathedral, full like grand scale cathedral. There was a fortress, which actually we had to expand the island a little bit because one of the members on the server just kind of went crazy with it. So we actually had to add on because we didn't have enough space.
Oh, wow.
On our mushroom island. So we basically doubled the size of the mushroom island. And then a whole village and a lighthouse and a shipping dock. And that's definitely was my favorite month so far because really everybody just embraced the challenge in that month.
Yeah. Well, and everything's new and fresh, and you have a path. Mm-hmm. And that, to me, that's the best thing about starting a new season is seeing the path emerge in what you're doing.
Yeah, seeing the vision start to come to life. Like, because we'd been planning it for about 2 months before we actually got in world. And so just, like, seeing everybody's contributions and, like, kind of what everybody gravitated towards was really cool.
Yeah, it's nice seeing different SMPs like this. You know, normally you get the same old, you know, get your group together and build on a server type of deal. But to have a plan like this is pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty unique. You're starting to see that a little more and more with SMPs. I'm digging it.
Well, that and the short time period you guys have set for yourselves too, because a lot of SMPs take a year before they finish a map, and you guys are like 6 months, go.
Yeah. Yeah, that's our deadline.
Yeah, it was definitely a little bit of a we don't know if we can hold interest long enough. Like, let's just stick with it as long as we've got the inspiration.
Right.
And to kind of test the waters, but I think everybody's still very interested.
Well, you guys you got 2 months left too, so
yes, it's coming up fast though.
Well, and it happens to work out that 118's right around the corner too. Mm-hmm. So that could open whole new ideas for you guys.
Oh, and it already has, as I mentioned, it was me and my husband who are working on the planning side of it, and he's got an idea for what we're going to roll into next year with the update, where it won't be one overarching theme for the whole server, but each month we are going to let the community decide what the next build style, theme is. And because the lighting is also being updated, we're going to be able to work a lot more underground. And like the example that he used, I don't know if you guys have seen the movie Goonies.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Kind of a classic. So hopefully this is a reference most everybody understands. But that underwater pirate scene with the ships and like the waterfalls and all the like, you know, traps and stuff that they have to navigate. Like, that was one of the ideas, is that now with the caves and the lighting improvements, we're going to be able to do something like that even.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that should be cool to see.
Yeah, so, and we've just got so many ideas swimming, and it's going to be really fun to see the server open up a little bit, because Magic the Gathering is not as well known in our community as Minecraft, so we're giving them a lot of lore, a lot of reference images, and this next time it'll be the community is going to come in and be able to participate more with us and be like, hey, this is what I'm really interested in, and then we're all going to kind of converge around that idea.
You say participate, I say dictate. Trust me, those guys are going to be like, oh, no, you're building this month. Don't care, that's what you want. You're building this one.
So that was about me and my server.
Awesome. Like I said, that had to be one of the worst English I've said, but just stumble upon raids, because I was like, oh, here's someone who has less than 50 viewers watching. I've got like 10. Let's see if we can't boost them and see what was going on. And sure enough, yeah, that was a great raid.
It was really awesome too, because then I found this community and the Withering effect, which has been really interesting because, as we were mentioning while we were getting set up, is I'm not a very opinionated person. Mm-hmm. So like usually when information comes about game updates or like new information, I'm like, oh, that's cool. And now I'm getting to hear a little bit more of like some critical feedback and being like, oh yeah, what would I think about this change if I had no other information, like no other outside sources? What is my own opinion? Yeah. And so it's helping me kind of like, I don't know, think more critically, maybe.
Bundle's bad. I literally just threw that one in there for Carl. Carl likes when I say that. He gets a hoot out of it. But Jimbo, how about your week? How interesting of a week did you have?
You know.
About the same as last week.
Haven't got to played. Yeah, about the same as last week and the week before. Haven't been too inspired to play Minecraft. I don't know what it is. Haven't been on the server, as you noticed.
Mm-hmm.
Been working a good bit. I even picked up a day of work this Saturday. I know the winter is coming. You know, there might not be as much work ahead. So,
yeah,
trying to work as much as I can. But, yeah, I still have time to play. I just haven't been playing. I don't know what it is. Just in a rut. There's really not much creativity I got to put into it. You know, the build is there. I just got to put the time in. I think what it is all the work left is just grindy work on my base. I have a really big base, if you didn't know.
Yeah.
And finishing this thing up and detailing it is going to take a long time. And it's time that I've wasted away and haven't been playing with it. I did a little bit of recording, but that was a while ago. I got a little distracted with the cryptoverse again.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's actually picking up a little bit. But yeah, besides that, no inspiration to play Minecraft. Haven't been watching too much Minecraft either. A little bit of Third Life here and there, but yeah, no Minecraft for me this week.
The grindy thing, to me, I take it as a lesson to learn.
Yeah.
Especially after me, midway through the season, you saw I quit my base. I was like, I'm done. I'm building a new base. And then I came up with, okay, the old base can still work. It's a lot of grind work, but I ended up breaking it off into, I can do this area in about 30 minutes. So I marked out my base into 30-minute segments, as I called them, doing texturing and everything like that. So it's like every week I try to do at least 2 or 3 30-minute segments of me just detail work. And that made the grind 10 times easier.
That's a really smart way to break it down, because that is one of the first things that I noticed when I had big projects on my single player, is just how insurmountable it always felt. It's like,
mm-hmm.
I had these huge ideas of what I wanted to do, and then I would start doing it, and it would be hours later, and it was hardly a dent.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. That's where I'm at. And I've always been like the grindy person. I always built big and was able to finish and complete these things. But yeah, the lack of me consuming Minecraft content doesn't give me the inspiration to go and play, I think it is.
I think you're just looking out for the wrong content.
Maybe.
So for the past 3 months, I've been looking for a ton of small YouTubers who are actually putting out great content. And that's way more interesting to me than, like, you look at Hermitcraft. I think half of them got sick for the past month. So video's been relatively slow from there, which led to not a lot of content, because that's usually my primary source. I found servers like Ramble SMP, Channel 64, basically Minecraft. These are all small.
Hourglass and SMP.
Hourglass. I usually am all about Zelda streams. That's my streaming section. But these are all small people who don't get enough credit on the YouTube world. So I'm shouting you guys out now. These are great content creators. You guys should go follow them.
Well, I'll make sure to join Zelda's next stream.
Thank you. Yeah, and I'll definitely check out those YouTubes that you mentioned. I've heard of the 64...
Channel 64.
Or Channel 64, yeah, okay. I've heard of that before. Do you know any of the members that are on it?
Jestix, Arlington, P4, Atomic Dave.
I'm trying to think of how I've heard of it.
I've been propping them up in the Withering Effect Discord for a while now. They're my favorite SMP to watch right now.
You heard from Duds.
They've got interesting storylines. They're all great builders. And here's the thing. It's all quality content. Like, usually when you get to like the smaller SMP guys, the mic quality is not there, or maybe the video quality is not there because you're using just what you can get your hands on to start out. Mm-hmm. These guys are doing top-notch recording and editing and microphone work. They have little storylines that don't dictate an entire episode. So if you're not a fan of the storyline, it's really only 5 minutes of the content. And then on top of that, they're actually doing really nice builds and showing it. They're not doing, here's a 30-second time lapse, and now I'm going to go mess around for 25 minutes. So
yeah,
that's what I like.
I like a nice builds and all, but I think a good storyline really ups the quality.
Yeah.
Always been into that.
Channel 64 has great storylines. So
nice.
Like I said, they're not overwhelming. It's not, I missed an episode from this one person, so I can't watch anymore. It's like, nah, you just hop in, watch.
That was my challenge when I was first watching Third Life, is because I knew if I watch one, I'm going to want to watch them all. It's like Pokemon, gotta catch them all. So I had to actively tell myself no, because I wouldn't get anything else done.
Yep.
But watching the fan art come out for Third Life made that choice a little bit regrettable. There is some awesome fan art for Third Life.
Yeah. Jimbo, any more things this week now that I've shouted out a ton of small YouTubers?
No, a whole lot of nothing.
Whole lot of nothing.
Week, so, yep.
At least you're consistent.
Right. So how about your week?
My week included a finale. Well, includes a finale. So last episode, I had a poll for my community tab asking if they wanted another Ripple Effect episode or a Project Moss episode. Everyone voted for Ripple Effect. And so I was like, okay, I have this island to work on. That'll take a good half the episode to work on that. And then I'll find something else to work on. The island took less than 5 minutes. I was like, okay, so I've gotten this down, Pat. What else? And I literally sat for 2 days on the server, just kind of walking around looking for stuff to work on. And you go, you know what? I'm not inspired to build anything here. Everything I want to build is in my single player world. I think it's time for a finale. And it just so happens this season has the exact same amount of episodes as last season. So to me, that kind of seemed like a sign. Got to end on that.
No.
So, yeah, Ripple Effect Season 3 finale should have come out Monday for everyone. That's tomorrow for us. It all depends on my afternoon after this recording.
Oh, I was going to say I missed it.
No.
It's not Monday yet. Okay.
Yeah, I'm remembering that we're recording in the future.
I forget every time.
It's Sunday for us, but people don't listen to this till Wednesday.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So, yeah. I've started Season 4 planning. You saw a little bit of it in the Discord. I posted the thumbnail for Season 4, which I'm pretty happy with.
Looks good.
Let's see. I did Carl's skin. I mentioned Friday night on stream about how I'm enjoying creating skins, and Carl's like, yeah, I just picked one online and changed a couple little things, and then, ta-da, that's my skin. I was like, Carl, you want me to make you a skin? He said, sure. So I ended up changing Carl's skin up a bit. I want to do a wacky crazy one, but he won't give me a wacky crazy topic/idea to do his skin with.
Could do something seasonal. Make him an elf.
It's true. Well, the one thing is Carl has a creeper face on the back of his hoodie. I went ahead and changed that to a wither because that's way cooler.
100%.
Okay.
Other than that, it's just little 3D effects to make his skin stand out a little bit more. Nothing too terrible. It's less than an hour's worth of work.
What is it that you're having fun with making the skins?
I don't know, really.
The layers? You've been using your layers?
Yeah. It's not like I'm doing anything weird, like if you turn one layer off, the skin changes completely. I'm not doing anything like that. I don't think enough people take advantage of the different layers to give a 3D effect for some things. Like, on my gloves my character wears, the wrist section is on another layer, so it gives it a bigger, bulkier kind of texture. The undershirt is on another layer, so it looks like a rolled up sleeve. I have I forget what it's called. It looks like a scarf, but it's not a scarf. It's one of those things that you have around your neck that a lot of people are just pulling up and using as masks now.
Bandana?
Yeah, I guess a bandana. I have one of those, and that's also on another layer to give it a look as if it's sitting on top of the t-shirt, not in the t-shirt. So use your layers when creating a skin.
Gotta love the layer thing. Yeah.
So yeah, I just kind of did that to Carl's skin. Like, he has a hoodie, so the little strings, the little drawstrings in the hoodie, those are sitting on a new layer, so they stick out. The hood is on a second layer. He already had it on a second layer, but stuff like that. Jeans, if you're doing any kind of pants work, a couple horizontal stripes and good locations will give it that person's got a knee effect instead of you just walk on sticks.
Or you can detail it to be baggy.
You can detail it to be baggy if you put all the lines towards the ankles. It looks like baggy pants.
Mm-hmm. Or another layer towards the bottom.
Yeah. So that's what I find fun, is taking advantage of stuff like that. And theming it, like, I think ever since I joined Ripple, I tried to update my skin and theme for the next season. Like, this season was Pirate Island, so my skin's a bit piratey. Next season, it's going to be Wilderness Lodge. So I've done a skin that makes it look like I would be an explorer.
That sounds cool.
Not a lumberjack. I know people were going to go there, so I did not do the flannel shirt. Yeah, so I need a theme from Carl. I know he doesn't know what his season 4 is going to be yet, so I couldn't theme it based around that. But
I might rework my skin. Maybe that'll help jump boost the inspiration.
I think I made your skin for this season too, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Yeah, and that was just a small little update.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've got like an entire folder of dud skins. Like, I have a costume wardrobe for whatever we're working on.
I made a couple, but yeah, you made my newest one. I made like my caveman type of skin.
Yeah.
And I got stung by a bee at one time, and I put like
that was the most disturbing skin.
I was like swollen. Yeah, I had like a swollen face. No one liked it. They're like, "Oh my god,
Yeah.
look at you."
Yeah, everyone, oh my god, stop, go away.
I should have like had a mumble as I talk, because my like mouth is half closed. I had fun with that one.
But either way, I'm getting back on topic. I got my single player world, which honestly will probably only be 2 or 3 episodes, because I have the feeling 118's coming before December.
Oh.
I think we're getting really close to pre-release.
You are very optimistic.
I'm very optimistic.
Yeah. Figured we have a pre-release already if that was the case.
Well, after seeing this week's snapshot, I think we're getting really close to pre-release.
Yeah, there's very little.
Well, and what is there is big. So let's go ahead and hop on to the snapshot 21W44A professional segue. So, new world generation. The chunks under bedrock now updated.
Yep.
So you're going to get your deep slate stuff. Though I did see that there was a bit of a bug where you were supposed to be getting mostly deep slate. A lot of people were still just getting stone.
Yeah, look like majority stone.
To me, that seems like somebody probably just had a texture swap in there somewhere that needs to be fixed.
Yeah, you wouldn't think it'd be hard to fix that.
It shouldn't be too big of a fix, yeah.
Yeah.
So we've got that, and that's the big thing. Once I saw that, I was like, okay, we're close. Because blending was, to me, probably the hardest thing they had to do. And the fact that this snapshot doesn't have any blending lets me know that the blending from last week is good. It's where they want it. Awesome. Now they're moved on to this. So I'm excited. I'm really looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Added an online option screen where you can now find realms notifications, option, and difficulty when on a server. Does Java help realms?
No, I think it's just Bedrock.
That's what I thought. So there's some Bedrock news for you guys. Added an allow server listings opt-out, having your name displayed on server. So like whenever you're going into your multiplayer tab and you look to the side, it says like there's 2 of 50 people online, and you hover over and it tells you who's online. You can now change it so nobody knows you're online.
Oh, sneaky.
Oh, I always liked that feature.
I do too.
Yeah.
I don't want to join when Jimbo's on. I mean, come on.
Right. Good thing I won't be on, so.
I was going to say, can't have that. He'll have me recording stuff for his next episode.
He'll put you to work.
Well, he's been saying, the joke is for 4 weeks now, hey, when you're on, I need to record something for my video. And I've been on the entire time, and he hasn't been.
I haven't even been on there. Yeah. Yeah, that's next in the video, but now I'm like debating, am I going to get this video out? So
You better. People are going to be upset.
That's what I mean. I don't want to upset anyone.
You can do it.
There you go.
I don't want to be like that
Go, Jimbo.
guy who promises something and just doesn't follow through, or else my word wouldn't be any good. So
Now, the big change that has me almost as excited for the light update is sleeping now only resets the weather cycle if it is raining when you go to sleep.
I like that.
That is huge.
Huge. No more waiting and having people yell at you, don't sleep.
Oh yeah, that was a really big problem on the last server that we played on. They actually had to schedule once a month storms.
Oh.
Where the mod would actually trigger in the storm because it was a big active server and I'm notoriously sleeping, so I got yelled at a lot.
Yeah. Dark is scary, man.
It is! Especially if you're doing a time lapse, it looks terrible.
Exactly. Well, could you imagine night and rain in a time lapse? YouTube would have a fit.
Yeah, couldn't do it. Yeah, I guess with the new lightning rods and the tridents and everything, people want to have their storms every once in a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, the whole reset of the weather can damage that.
Yeah.
So this is a good change.
Also, for the Redstoners, blocks and fluids are now also affected by simulation distance. So it'd be a good idea to go ahead and test that behavior with your contraptions to make sure it's still working correctly. I'm not sure what that means.
Me neither.
And they say they also have optimized entity collisions. So the 24 cows in your little hole, like I do for food, that shouldn't be as laggy anymore.
That's big.
Yeah, I loved my cow farms.
Anything to reduce lag.
I think I'm going back to golden carrots next season.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Was it that laggy or was it something else?
No, it's to have a good cow farm. One, you got to get the cows. Then you have to get a good way to get the wheat. And then you got to deal with villagers. If you are going to deal with villagers, just get villagers that trade golden carrots.
Takes a lot to get that meat.
The food source that I've been using on Hourglass is cooked pork chops. We had someone who did one of those hoglin farms.
Yeah.
The first week, I forgot myself AFK there overnight. We ended up with 20-something double chests of cooked pork chop.
Oh, yeah. Those things are so OP.
Yep.
And,
that's the best way.
well, and here's the thing.
Yes.
They also drop leather. So if I was going to build one, I would only use it for the leather.
What would you use that much leather for?
Item frames. Everyone on the server just look.
You do like to cause lag.
Yeah, everyone just looks at me and go, are you the reason my frames die when you get... No, I do not have that many item frames around, but...
I thought you were going to say bundles.
Yeah, I'm going to make a bunch of bundles so I can burn them in lava. Yeah, that's it for the news. Like I said, I think it's one step closer to a pre-release.
I hope you're right. Hope we see one soon.
I hope I am too.
Then again, I don't, because I have a lot of work to do on my base.
I like the pre-release season because there's so much excitement. I like the energy buzz that's in the community is what I enjoy. I don't necessarily keep up with all the updates, but I enjoy the hype.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and think about it. With pre-releases, I think we've had as small as 1 or 2 pre-releases before they release the update, but we've also had 10 pre-releases. So,
yeah, with the new release coming out, definitely gets the community buzzing.
Yeah.
Things more active in the Minecraft community.
I'm just hoping for a earlier release date. I don't want mid-December because a lot of us are already going to be pretty busy.
Yeah.
So a mid-December update might not be the greatest.
Especially if there's servers that are going to launch right with the update.
That's ripple effect. Season 4 is launching with the update.
You guys aren't waiting for any plugins or anything?
We didn't last time. But we're supposed to have a community meeting here in the next little bit, so I guess that'll be talked about then. I do know I want replay mod. That's really hard to not have.
That's the big one. Optifine, but usually they're pretty quick.
I'm ditching Optifine.
You going
I'm going
Sodium?
What's it called?
Sodium.
Sodium works so much better. The only reason I have Optifine right now is because I have the underwater dome, and it looks absolute garbage without connected textures.
That's a good point.
So if I didn't have that dome, I would have jumped on Sodium's train a long time ago. It doesn't have the same features as Optifine, so don't think of it as a replacement. But for me, performance is always better in my world, so I'm going Sodium because it's more performance than Optifine. Let's go ahead and hop into listener comments. We actually posted a question from last week, and that was, which enchantment/potion would you guys pick from Jimbo and I's discussion? And the enchantment was the freeze enchantment for the trident, which I was super excited for because that's such a fun one to be able to stab something and turn it into an ice cube. To me, it was just hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jimbo's X-ray potion was the other one. Cheaty hacks.
They were both 24%. We got 83 votes on that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. We do have a lot of Spotify listeners, so
yeah.
Thank you guys for being active there.
Man, get involved in the votes. Have more of those coming soon, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
We do have a couple listener comments.
Yeah, we're going to stick with Spotify. This one's from Blackhole Nerd. They ask, what new items do you think would fit in the deep dark? Not just something with an exclusive enchantment, but a whole new item. Thank you for making the show and I appreciate it. Keeping it kid appropriate. What do you mean? I want to use my button, but Carl says I'm not allowed to.
Try very hard to keep it kid appropriate.
I didn't say anything. I just hit the button, by the way. Someone's going to be like, oh my God.
Oh my God.
It's like, no, I just hit a button.
Just went to PG-13.
No, I want a grappling hook.
Oh, that would be amazing.
I was considering that.
A grappling hook in the deep dark would be worth it.
Yeah, because a lot of people have talked about once they get into the new big caves that it's hard to get out of.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be an awesome item to be able to just be like, okay, I see a ledge up there, yoink.
Yeah. I mentioned that for the mountain update. I saw a mountain update. I was like, how cool would it be to have a grappling hook to get around these mountains? And in the caves, too. Yeah. Especially deep dark.
I mean, you have things like the twisty vines and the weeping vines from the nether that could essentially do the same thing. But then you're also carrying bone meal with you, saying, nah, grappling hook. And it should be like arrows in the fact that you'll end up wasting like string or rope or whatever. So it's not just, I have a grappling hook, I can now just hook to everything infinitely.
That would add value to spider farms again, if you have to collect string.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because I know cave spider farms for a while were the big XP, but then enders.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Those cave spiders farms are so dangerous, too.
They are.
So dangerous.
Jimbo died like 20 times.
No,
season
14 times.
14.
Over and over.
It was I who died 20 times in the beginning of a season.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, it's Enderman Farm, Blaze Farm, and then the Cactus Furnace Farm are all better XP farms than a spider farm.
I'm trying to think of an item to use down in the deep dark. I was thinking grappling hook. That's crazy you said that.
I'm ahead of you.
I guess. I don't know. I kind of liked something to help get around the deep dark. That's why I was thinking grappling hook. But something to like
flashlight
compress your footsteps. You know how there's things down there that can sense you now. You know your footsteps, and you have to crouch to get around to get through these. Or do they pick up crouching steps? I know the warden doesn't.
I don't think so.
There's one block, if you walk on top of it, it will still pick you up. But most of the other ones, if you're crouching, it won't sense you.
Okay.
But if you walk directly on one of them, and I don't remember the names, there's so many new named blocks.
Yeah.
It's the one that yells.
The screecher?
Yeah.
I think it's a screecher. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, any type of interaction with that block will set it off.
But yeah, what if we had something that could, suppress your feet? But then I was thinking feather falling. Maybe feather falling, if you put those on your boots, maybe that could give you that light footstep type of deal.
Not sure. I mean, you're just basically asking for sneakers.
Yeah, I'm not. That's not an item. I'm not getting anything really. But
Well, leather boots might be the closest thing.
Yeah.
Because they gave it the ability to stay on top of powdered snow, so it's almost like it's lightening your footsteps. That kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be another reason to wear them.
Mm-hmm.
One idea I had, and I don't know if I've never heard of it before, but would be an item you get outside of the deep dark and take in with you if they added the sound to the goat horn.
Yes.
So you could blast it and temporarily, like, immobilize the warden, so, like it's just so overwhelmed by the extra sound that it, like, can't sense you for a short time, like 30 seconds.
I like that.
So then you can book it for a little bit and get a safe distance.
I think I actually mentioned that last week. Or the week before. I mentioned something about the goat horn was still in creative mode. That was wrong. It's not even in creative mode.
Yeah. Yeah, we were thinking of ways to use it.
Yeah. But no, I had the exact same idea. That's a good idea to... Mm-hmm. If you want me to get around the warden, I want to overstimulate it to a point where it freaks out.
Yeah, and just for a temporary, like, if it's getting way too close for comfort and, like, you don't have anything else, like, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, possibly give it a cooldown.
Yeah.
With the horn. Can't blow it over and over.
Normally we would use knockback for that, but you can't knock back a warden, so it would make sense to be able to paralyze it so you can get away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good item.
Mm-hmm.
Should we go to the next question?
Yeah.
We have a question from Kitty Cat 2. What do you think would be a great use for the fletching table? Currently it's useless and there aren't any villagers around. If there aren't any villagers around. We've talked about this a couple times, just briefly though.
Before we go further, hey Jimbo, you're sliding back.
No, I put my mic down a little bit. I think it's like facing my chin. Let me put it up. Okay.
I was watching the sound waves on the backup, and I'm like, Jimbo's really quiet.
I get like that. I'll start fading back here, and then I'll...
Yeah, Jimbo has a tendency in his wheelie chair to just
I'm like, I end up in the
back
next room, and I'm like, how am I in here? I didn't... How'd I slide in there?
I have the exact opposite problem if I get too excited on stream and forget to pull away from my mic if I, like, am talking loud and excited. I'll start to deafen my audience. They're like, oh my gosh, you're so loud.
But fletching table, currently nothing. I know it was meant for arrows to start with.
Yeah.
But it was also supposed to be part of Jeb's combat update, which I really thought was going to get mentioned in Minecon, and it didn't.
Yeah. I mean, first thing you think of with fletching table are the bow and arrow.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping that, when it does become an active station, that we can customize our arrows and our bows. Like I mentioned before, I shoot a longbow, and pretty similar to the Minecraft bow. And you never go to a bow shoot with someone with the same bow or arrows. Everyone's got everything customized, and it'd be nice to use that table to customize your very own bow instead of everyone having the same looking one.
Like using different woods for different...
Yeah.
I know the flexibility of a real-life bow matters. So, like, if you use birch, for example, is it a softer or a more flexible material than dark oak, for example? So then you can get... I don't know what that changes in real-life shooting, but I have heard that a flexible bow matters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's certain wood that people prefer their bow to be made out of. Bamboo, that's the only one I could think of, sorry. But there's a bunch of different ones. It's a big list I got, and it's not even wood in Minecraft.
Mine will segue perfectly into mending Minecraft, but fishing lures for fishing rods.
Okay.
That makes a lot of sense, too, because you have to craft those with similar materials.
So there's a hint of what's to come. That all we got for fletching table? It's a hard table to come up with ideas for.
Yeah. Yeah, you figure... I mean, the crafting table can already do all this stuff.
Yeah, that's the downfall.
For the bow. And even on the side of it, it's got your arrows and stuff on the crafting table. It's kind of... I don't know.
I think the only thing I would add as a bit of, like, the customizable bow aspect is just how many different types of bows they have in dungeons, because I recently started playing that. I was surprised by all of that, and, like, taking some of the inspiration for just the different abilities that it can do.
Yeah.
Oh, don't get me started on dungeon, weapons, and armor. I love every bit of it, and it should be in Minecraft.
I want it all.
Exactly.
Just have it all in one game. I want all the building blocks.
They have dirty stone bricks. Why is that not a thing now? I want to be able to take my coarse dirt, mix it with my stone brick, and get basically mossy brick, but with dirt.
Yes.
Yeah, get dirty.
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and move on. But thank you guys so much for those comments. Some of them were from Spotify, but one of them was from our Discord. And our Discord is the only place where you can talk to everyone who works on the show easily. Just take Link's word for it.
Hello there, miners and crafters. This is Link. Come and join me on the Withering Effect Discord. It's a great place to hang out with the people that work on the show and other fellow listeners like yourselves. The link is in the show notes. Join today and let's discuss the game we love.
Thank you for the Discord ad, Link.
Each week on the show, we mention the top 3 members who've been earning XP and leveling up by participating in chat, excluding ourselves and moderators. This week's top 3 Discord members are 3rd, Fur Trees, 2nd, Kit Kitty Cat 2, and 1st, Ski 3012. Join in with chat on Discord and you could be mentioned next week.
Speaking of Discord, it's the only place where you can get involved in the Mending Minecraft vote. This week we asked you to choose between one of 3 items for us to discuss and improve. Your choices were the fishing rod, the bow, and saddle.
And the winner of Mending Minecraft this week is... Fishing Rod. Congratulations, Fishing Rod. Fishing Rod had 23 votes. The bow had 21 votes, right behind it. And saddle with 14. So it's pretty close. A few things on the fishing rod. Fishing rod is a tool used primarily for fishing. It's crafted with 3 sticks and 2 string. There are 2 unique enchantments for the fishing rod, Lure and Luck of the Sea. There's 3 different levels to each of those. You can also put Mending and Unbreaking on those. I do recommend that. Fishing rods can be found by fishing, found in loot chest, dropped by drowned, or traded with fishermen villagers. The fishing rod can be used to hook mobs or items in Java Edition only, and some entities, and even players. The fishing rod can be reeled in, which drags them towards the player and deals no damage. You can also add a carrot or a warp fungi to the fishing rod to control a pig if it's the carrot, or a strider with the warp fungus, while riding them. And that's all I have for the fishing rod.
One, I didn't realize Bedrock could not use a fishing rod to pull entities to them.
I think it's items. It says items.
Well, I can't hook an item in a chest and pull it out.
Yeah, I don't.
It would have to be on the ground, which would consider it an entity.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The fact that they can't do that, I mean, let's fix that. Get some parity going there.
Yeah, I've seen that mechanic used in minigames, so that kind of limits their ability to, play with that, because it looked like a really fun mechanic.
Exactly. And then when it comes to things I thought of, there wasn't a lot with fishing rods. They already have some unique, cool functions in the fact that you can put different items on to control different mobs in the game. So I kind of wanted to continue that with specific lures to catch specific kinds of fish. So maybe you're only looking for salmon, so you need to come up with a custom salmon lure. Again, this is why the Fletching Table would be a nice table to incorporate in here. You have, 12 different lures for several different fish. The other thing would be, when you catch a fish, maybe not have it already come to you dead. So
right.
Have it come and flop around at your feet, give you a chance to pick it up with the water bucket.
That's a good one.
I'm chuckling because I'm imagining catching a puffer in that instance. I would be immediately surprised. Well, because it would poison you as soon as it landed next to you.
Worth it.
Add a little bit of, spice of life there.
That's a good point. It could be dangerous fishing.
I mean, real life fishing isn't always safe.
Right.
You got to do what you got to do.
It's way more realistic that way, at least.
Right. And that's what I was going for. We have so many different versions of tropical fish now that maybe you're looking for one kind of tropical fish that has a certain color palette. it might be worth being able to custom a lure to that. And if that's the case, you don't want to hook it dead. You want it to be alive, so maybe have it flop around at your feet for a minute so you can scoop it up in a bucket of water.
Yeah, now that fish farms are kind of died out, you can't build them anyway, this would be a good change in that sense.
Yeah.
And especially if you have a world that you can't find, like the coral reef in, it would give you the opportunity to find some of those tropical fish if your like seed is limited.
Very true.
Now we do have a suggestion from the Discord from J-Man. Says maybe you can actually reel in the fish.
Okay.
You know, instead of just throwing it out there and you automatically catch it. Maybe you got to time it.
I mean, you kind of have to time it now. If you wait too long after the bobber starts bobbing.
Yeah.
But then it's just one click to pull back. I think he means like fighting with it if it's going to be a more rare item that comes back.
Oh, yeah.
Would be cool. So like you don't just, activate your like pull, got it. More of a challenge.
Yeah.
That'd be neat. That's one thing I noticed in the Discord. Wasn't a bad suggestion. Just wondering how it would be implemented. That's all.
Right. All right. Let's go ahead and move on to our topics. We're quickly running out of time. And we're going to go over what we saw for 118, 119. And Zelda, you made mention that you guys are already planning your next season based off the updates.
Yes.
What are some of the things you're looking forward to in 118, 119?
I think the very first thing is just the increased world height. The ability to kind of give builds almost like a vertical breathing space.
Yes.
Because there was the first island we did this time had floating islands, and because of the world height limit, some of them I felt like I pulled them down so that I could still build stuff on top of them, but then it felt like they were kind of interfering with some of the builds on the ground. So to be able to go vertical, and some of my favorite builds in the history of Minecraft that I've seen are these like awesome like fairy towers or like wizard towers, and they just go up and up and up. And so to have that vertical height and the ability to kind of play with levels more is definitely something I'm excited. When I was first testing the 118 Caves and Cliffs update, there was a outpost on top of one of the new types of mountains. And it just it was little. It was teeny tiny on top of the mountain, but it just set such an impressive presence over the valley below. Is like, we're watching you.
Yeah, nobody wants a squished build. So yeah, vertical height is gonna be messed. I like the fact that they went ahead and they raised the clouds on top of that too.
Yeah,
of course. I don't know many YouTubers who actually play with clouds on anymore.
Yeah. I have mine turned off.
Yeah. It's like, oh, you're 50 blocks above the ground. Here's a cloud.
Yeah. I actually plan on building in the sky next season too. So I'm pretty excited with the new Y levels.
What about the deep dark?
Yeah.
Are you excited for the deep dark, or are you just scared crapless like me and Jimbo?
Terrified. Absolutely terrified. I am horrible at caving and mining. It's always the most dangerous thing for me. Like, I can handle the nether pretty well, but actual caving, I always get myself in, tight, confined spaces. So this not so much anymore. Like, it's not going to be tight and confined. It's just going to be all the mobs in my face.
Yep.
And the amount of caves now, it's so easy to get lost in. Like, if you were to die, like before, if I were dying in a cave, I could never find where I was, and now it's bigger. I'm probably not even going to go look.
Yeah, you're like, that gear's gone.
Yep, that's gone. Just start from scratch.
My husband is very excited for the deep dark, though, because he very much likes to explore. So he's excited to get into the cave system. So I think it's nice that it's something that people feel differently about.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna let him go down there. You have all that fun for me.
Yeah.
Definitely gonna enjoy the challenge.
Oh yeah, I'll go down there once, but unless there's something really nice down there, which I'm hoping there are. They're hinting at cool new loot being down there. So hopefully there is. If not, then yeah, I'll explore it once and then I'm like, okay, I know what it's like. See ya.
Peace.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of the way in-cities are now. It's like, yeah, they were fun to explore at first, but now you get in, get your shelves in a light train, and you get out.
Right. You have to make many trips.
Yeah.
I feel like another thing on the new update, we have a new mob coming.
Yeah.
The LA. Was that the mob you voted for? Or did you get to vote in the mob vote?
I did. I voted LA in both rounds.
Nice.
Ah.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun.
Not only the technical benefits that could come from it, but the fact that you could have a little buddy following you around.
Right. I was just scared for the Copper Golem was kind of my second choice. I just know my luck is the silly thing would freeze in front of a door and I wouldn't be able to get in and out of whatever the build was.
That'd be hilarious.
That's true.
That's all I could see happening. I was like, nope, let's not. Let's avoid that bad luck bear.
If I thought about that, I might have voted for it. Just to see that happen. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah, Copper Golem was my second pick. Luckily, I didn't have to go to that. My biggest worry about it was we have like too many armor stands. Creates lag nowadays still. So Copper Golems, we're going to be basically replacing armor stands and the fact of statues. And let's face it, people are going to have those things all over the place. Don't get me wrong. LA is probably still going to... There's going to be someone who builds a sorting system with 40 of these things, and every time it turns on, lags everybody's server. I'm hoping the benefits outweigh the downfall.
Yeah, we don't know how the performance is going to be with it.
Mm-mm. What about swamps? You guys excited for swamps?
Very.
Oh, yeah.
They look so good. Though I still stand by, I don't think the rooted mangrove texture's quite there yet.
Yeah.
Was that a finished texture, or was that just like, here's what we're working on?
Yeah, I don't think it's a finished texture. That's why I'm kind of voicing the, hey, maybe you guys should change that, please.
I loved everything about it, and I felt really smart. We were having a live watch in our Discord, and I was like, as soon as they showed it, I was like, that's not dirt. That's not mycelium. What is that on the ground?
Mm-hmm.
I called it immediately, and everybody's like, what are you talking about? It's probably just like the shade or something.
The lighting,
I was like, nope, that's different. That's a new block.
Yeah.
The mud.
We kind of had a live party with just me, Jimbo, and Carl. Except Jimbo was like 30 seconds behind, so we'd say something, he'd be like, nah, that's this. And I'm like, dude, no.
Mm-hmm.
Then he'd be like, why are you guys so excited? It's just a boat or something like that.
You guys would be talking and be like, oh, look, there's frogs. You're like, that was like a minute ago.
Yeah.
Like, oh, man. Yeah, it's kind of waiting on the frogs.
Oh, renewable clay is going to be huge, too. The only problem is you can't automate it.
Yeah.
There's going to be big manual clay farms.
Well, and I think, Campion, I've watched, he does a lot of those, proves that the blocks that you think are hard to access are, pretty accessible if you grind it. Because, the powdered snow bowl that he made this year, I was pretty surprised by that. So I'm seeing the renewable clay in very much the same light as, if you've got a system in place early and just, maintain it and, do a little bit at a time, you slowly build up those resources over time, then you've got huge quantities.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And they are sprinkling it out through the world, too. There's a lot of it in the lush caves.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And, they make it renewable with the mud now, so that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on frogs?
I was very surprised by the models. They're so derpy looking.
Yes,
yep.
That's the best part.
But I loved that there is biome differences. I thought that was such a cool thing because I know the original vote was just, I think it just showed them in the swamps. So to take them and to spread them out and see what the effect would be of the biomes of the whole world. So I thought that was a really, a stroke of genius, if I can say that, because I was like, I wouldn't have thought about that.
Right.
Yeah, it's something you didn't really expect.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I can say the Mojang dev team, whenever they're like, we're going to implement this, they do a ton of research into what they're implementing. So whoever was like, okay, let's do frogs, probably read for an entire week about frogs around the world.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if you're familiar, Zelda, but I don't like bees. Never been a fan of bees. In real life mainly, but I wanted the frogs to eat the bees, I wanted that to be a thing. Apparently, they eat the fireflies, but I'm still hoping, the frogs can eat the bees. I think I mentioned that every episode. Just trying to put out there. Maybe they're listening to this one.
Yeah.
That would be hilarious to see. It's like in a cartoon, like the proportions just aren't quite right because like the bee and the frog are going to be almost the same size from what it looks like so far.
Yeah.
So this
looks like the bee's a little bigger.
Yeah. This little frog eating this big bee.
I'd have frogs everywhere if that was the case. What else we got on the new update? I think they are planning on fixing more biomes.
Mm-hmm.
They really haven't shown much, just the swamp, but it is the wild update, and they are fixing, biomes, you would think. So
yeah, well, I mean, we had the artist rendition of New Birch Forests,
yes,
and stuff. So there could be other stuff. If we just got what we were showed, it still wouldn't be a bad update.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I was kind of hoping for an inventory update because I think we're getting close to that time where it kind of needs to happen.
Yeah, it's pretty unmanageable. A lot of times I found myself carrying around like 5 or 6 shulkers to do detail work in our islands lately because you need like a bunch of wood variants, a bunch of stone variants, a bunch of deep slate variants, all the what you call the florals, like the bushes and the plants and all the like accessories. So it's like you have a shulker for all the different accessory blocks that you might need.
Yep.
And there's more blocks now. With the mud, the new wood, mangrove wood,
new leaves.
Yeah, I'm definitely digging the mud bricks. Probably end up using those.
I don't know how I feel about them yet. I need to see them in some more builds.
Yeah, I think on their own as a whole build, it was overwhelming to me. Like I didn't, I understand what they wanted to show, that type of housing that is primarily made out of mud bricks. But I think mixing it, especially since that's kind of how I build the most, is mixed textures. Seeing it with other items will help me get more comfortable with it. But I liked that there's another brick option because the red bricks are sometimes hard to work with.
Yeah, I could see the mud bricks being used with a lot of stone bricks. I think it's a similar pattern, if I'm not mistaken. Mix and match with those for texturing. Should be fun. Yeah, the mangrove wood, wasn't, I don't know, too big on. I mean, it's another wood. It's a little different, but fairly similar to the jungle.
I feel like eventually there's going to be a whole gradients of wood.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to like fill in all in between, but it felt like a very weird starting point to go between two of the least used woods and find a mix there instead of like a more gray color wood, like a driftwood or something. Is something that gets mentioned in my community a lot.
Yeah.
I use acacia logs like crazy just because of that gray texture on the outside. Acacia wood on itself, no.
Yeah, you can't use the stair slab variants of it. Like I was trying to make a petrified tree. I've tried twice, and I don't learn from my own mistakes. But there's not until you start mixing in the stone blocks, you don't get that like the ability to do really good organic-y shapes in a petrified tree because you just don't have that type of wood stair and slab.
Yeah.
Yeah, and strip log textures have been some of my favorite wood textures, and with the acacia, it goes orange. So, a little off-putting.
Guys, well, we're over time, so I think that's going to do it for the show today. Before I have Jimbo read us out, I want to say a huge thank you to all of our patrons for supporting the show. Our milk level patrons are aubni, ChiefBigBear, Crock, FragileRock, ohbeep, StoneFigure, and viperoustuna. If you too would like to get access to exclusive benefits and hours of extra content each month, please consider joining at patreon.com/thewithering But before we go any further, let's have a huge thank you to our guest, Short Zelda 22. Zelda, where can everyone find you?
Yeah, definitely. Thank you guys for having me so much. And if you're interested in finding out about me or catching the stream, I'm on twitch.tv/shortzelda22. You can also catch up with Hourglass SMP if the idea behind the server sounded really interesting. I've got videos on my YouTube. Just search up shortzelda22. And I also do post photo updates and schedule updates on my Twitter, also shortzelda22. So thank you guys again for having me.
No problem.
Been great, thank you. And if you like the show, you can share it with all your friends and on social media. If you listen on Spotify, follow us. Or if you listen on Apple Podcasts, leave us a nice review. Doing any of these really helps the show reach more listeners. If you'd like to get in contact with us, send an email to podcast@thewitheringeffect.com. Tweet us, leave a voice message, or join our Discord where you can have a chat with everyone who works on the show and fellow listeners. All the links are in the show notes.
This show has been brought to you by Jimbo and myself, but also our digital producer, Carl. He helps make sure the show ends up where it should be, and the amazing music you hear in the intro and outro is created by the one and only Decoy. Everyone's social media info can be found in the show notes. You guys have an awesome. Thank you so much for getting withers with us. You should probably go drink your milk now. Bye.
See you guys.